Imagine walking outside your door to find nearly 70,000 Dum Dum lollipops on your doorstep, totaling over $4,200 direct from Amazon, only to find out that the guilty party is your 8-year-old. Yeah, welcome back into the channel, Rockstars. This one out of Lexington, Kentucky. Yikes, this is gonna show the pitfalls of such quick ordering, one-button purchasing on Amazon and other platforms, and letting your 8-year-old or any of your kids handle one of these fancy devices that we all have in our pockets. You're gonna learn a valuable lesson today, as if some of you probably need it. Most of you don't, but I know there's a few. Holly LaFavors from Lexington, Kentucky. On Sunday morning, as she was preparing to go to church, a delivery worker dropped off a 25-pound box of lollipops in front of her apartment building out there in Lexington. And then another, and another, and another. And soon there were 22 boxes of 50,600 lollipops stacked 5 boxes high in 2 walls of Dum Dums. Dum Dums, our favorite suckers, right? Speaking of suckers, that was when Miss LaFavors heard what no parent wants to hear. Her child had unwittingly placed a massive online order. "Mom, my suckers are here," said her son Liam, who had gone outside to ride his scooter. She panicked. She's 46 and said she was hysterical. Miss LaFavor said in an interview that Liam 8 became familiar with Amazon and other shopping sites during the pandemic, which would have been 4 years ago, when he was 4 years old, when she regularly ordered supplies. Since then, she has occasionally let him browse the site if he keeps items in the cart. Holy, I'm gonna say it, shit. Is she insane? Holy shit. Holly, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, I hope she sees this video. You're an idiot. And I hope she learns her lesson, because a lot of people say they let their kids have their phones to keep them entertained and to shut them up, which, number one, is a mistake in my opinion. If you have to use your phone or your iPad to shut your kid up, there are other solutions. That's just my opinion. I don't have kids, but I have friends and I have neighbors who have kids, and they absolutely abide by the same thing I just said, that phones and iPads should not be used as a tool to shut your kid up, that there are other ways to do it, and that iPads and phones are absolutely rewards and privileges for a kid. Second thing, let's forget about that since I'm not a parent. Everyone's going to say I don't have the right to speak on that, even though all my neighbors and friends have all said the same thing. A 4-year-old doesn't belong touching a phone regardless of your parenting tactics. Why would a 4-year-old have a phone? Even an 8-year-old is not mature enough to have a smartphone in their possession, because what is a child, a curious child, going to do? They're going to click around. If you're going to reward a child with an iPad or with a phone, it needs to be parental locked or without apps on it that they can access or click and purchase. Do not give them your own phone. There was no way in the world I would hand anyone other than me or my significant other this phone, ever. I would get them their own little cheapy phone. They don't know the difference between an iPhone 4 and an iPhone 14, 16, whatever. They don't know. Just give them something that doesn't have all of your credit cards and everything else attached to it. That's silly. That is mind-blowingly bonkers to me that you would hand a 4 to 8-year-old in that time range a phone that is attached to all those shopping sites. On top of all of that, she openly says she taught him how to use Amazon and told him, "Oh, just leave it in the cart and you can shop all you want." I mean, does this lady, did she fall and bump her head? Was she born this way, or did she just get really bad parenting advice? Because this doesn't take me being a parent to understand that you not only don't give your child a phone, if you give them a phone, you give them one that's disconnected from everything. And even if you go that far, you don't teach them how to use Amazon and add things to a shopping cart and just tell them to leave it in the shopping cart. That is absolutely just dodo. Anyways, let's continue with the story because it's going to hurt my head. I know a bunch of you are going to yell at me in the comment section, but everything I just said is facts. And if you don't agree with it, sorry, that's just facts. You don't give a child, a young child, a smart device with purchasing power and then teach them how to use it. Unacceptable. Over the weekend, Liam had a lollipop lapse. He told his mother he wanted to organize a carnival for his friends, and mistakenly he said he placed an order for almost 70,000 pieces of candy instead of reserving it. Reserving it? What does that mean? Adding it to the cart and just what? Then deleting it later? Why are we adding it to the cart? We have no intention of buying 70,000 lollipops. That's ludicrous. And so the double ramparts of suckers rose on their doorstep where the excess of e-commerce crossed paths with their tight-knit community. No, it had nothing to do with their community. Their community doesn't know anything about it. Mrs. Lefevre said that she discovered something was amiss after a shopping trip early on Sunday when she checked her bank account balance and it was in the red. Lady, I get notices every single day when anything is charged to my phone. I get a notice that says blah, blah, blah was charged to my phone. I have it set to limits like anything over $100. If you buy a $20 cookie on my phone or on my card, I'm probably not going to know about it. I will still get messages and I can check it and notice it, but I get immediate text messages on anything over 99 or $100 or whatever it is for every single one of my cards and accounts. Also, it took her a full day to realize her bank account was in the red, meaning she had less than $4,200 in the bank, which is at her age kind of not good, but put that aside. It took her a full day to realize she had no money. Yikes. Like, I would have known immediately. I check my bank accounts hourly, daily. I have them constantly on my pages. I refresh. I don't understand anything about this story. It just blows my mind. I don't know. The offending item was the $4,200 charge from Amazon for 30 boxes of Dum Dums. Frantic and upset, she called Amazon, which advised her to reject the shipments. Miss Lefevre, was able to turn away 8 of the boxes, totaling 18,400 lollipops, but the 22 boxes containing 50,600 had already landed. My Alexa didn't even ding to tell me they had been delivered. You don't have a doorbell camera? You didn't know they were on your doorbell, on your front doorbell, on your front doorstep? This story just gets worse and worse. Miss Lefevre said that she had then told by Amazon that it could not take the candy back for a refund because it was food. That's not always true. If it's still sealed, they will take some food back, although a lot of people think it's not returnable. If she had had a credit card linked to her account and the credit card was an actual credit card, not a debit card, she could have just filed a chargeback. Although filing a chargeback for something your kid did because you're an idiot is kind of credit card fraud, so not something you want to do. They will legitimately give you your money back in the event of fraud or overspending or something like that, but not for this because you were a dodo head. Miss Lefevre said that she was then told by Amazon that it could not take the candy back because it was food, so she tried to send back to the virtual shopping world what it had unloaded to her on the first place. She wrote, "Hi, everyone. Liam ordered 30 cases of Dum Dums and Amazon will not let me return them. $130 a box, still sealed," she wrote on Facebook May the 4th. That's when she wrote the Facebook thing, trying to resell it to other people. The post attracted the attention of local news stations and national media outlets, highlighting the financial treachery of online activity. Parents commiserated on her Facebook page and shared solutions like detaching payment methods, setting up alerts for large purchases, or simply keeping children off phones. Hello. Big clap. Round the world clap there. That's the answer. I don't know. One child spent $980 on virtual Roblox games currency, and a 3-year-old playing on a phone during an airport delay spent $300 on movies. Again, why does a 3-year-old have access to a smartphone? It's psycho. A woman's granddaughter spent $1,000 on Google Play. As a mom that has experienced unwanted orders, I feel your pain. Companies offer steps on how to prevent and dispute unauthorized purchases in online shopping and games. Roblox advises parents to use password-protected purchasing. Again, obviously, call its customer service center before initiating a dispute with the payment provider, which would stall the refund process. Epic, the makers of Fortnite, has safeguards that include an intent to buy step and purchase cancelizations. On Apple devices and accounts, family verification settings include controls called Ask to Buy for a child's device or Don't Allow for in-app purchases. Again, I use Apple, all exactly what I would do in the event that I had a child. Google Play's purchase verification process also has additional safeguards on family accounts that verify the user is authorized to make a purchase on apps meant for children ages 12 and under. Amazon eventually told Miss Lefevre that it would give her a refund. In an email, the company said it worked directly with her to turn a sticky situation into something sweet. On Wednesday, after the refund came through, Miss Lefevre decided to give away the Dum Dums instead of selling them. Thank God, first good thing she's done in this story. One neighbor offered to distribute some on Halloween, a local chiropractor asked for 2 boxes, and a bank in Somerset, Kentucky said they would take 5 boxes. Of course the bank and the doctors will take them. I'm giving them to individuals that had offered to buy them from me, or I'm donating them to charity or school and church. Great job. Miss Lefevre said, people that I have relationships were willing to buy those to help me out. Spangler Candy Co., the company that has made Dum Dums since 1924, 100 years old, 101 now, that's awesome, invited Miss Lefevre and Liam to visit its factory in Ohio. And they said, we also love that so many people jumped in to offer to purchase the extra cases, says Kirk Vachal, its chief executive, in an email. That's a great job by Dum Dum to Spangler Candy Co. to jump in there with good publicity since it went viral. They're able to get in there and offer them something to come tour the building. Always works. Always get on a story in a good way. Liam's online browsing privileges are on pause. Oh, a little late for that, don't we think? But Miss LeFavor said he too had tried to find a way to recoup her money, telling his mother, "It's okay, Mom, we can sell my Pokemon cards." I don't believe he probably has $4,200 in Pokemon cards, but if he did, and he was my kid, those Pokemon cards would have been on eBay as quick as he could say it. Trust me. I'm going to come across as very arrogant and very blah about this story, but this is one thing, like a pet peeve to me, and I see it all the time in stories online, is that kids being allowed to use these phones and making these orders, because I too have been on the other end of it in eBay, where people have purchased a $100, $200 item from me and then said, "Oh, cancel this order, my kid pressed it, my 6-year-old pressed it." And I'm like, really? Like, it's just a pet peeve. It's mind-blowing. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of headache and stress at what she went through. There's just a whole bunch of reasons why this doesn't have to happen. It is fully preventable. And these devices are for adults. They're for calling, they're for texting, they're for internet browsing, and for business. And if they're going to be games and fun and entertainment played on them by anybody other than adults who know what they're doing and know what not to do, by kids, it needs to be on a device that does not have any of the other things. You cannot mix the two things. You can't mix what you have on your phone with what a kid gets on their phone. There are plenty of ways to get them devices or locked out things that can prevent this. It's totally preventable. And I'm never going to apologize for being upset and mad and saying what I'm saying about this, giving a kid a phone like this. And also, because I have this opinion and this thought process, by not having kids, I had to go out to my neighbors, all of them who all have multiple kids. We have 2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3. There are 50 kids that live on my street, and I told them not just about this story before I made it, but other stories, and they've all said, "Oh no, my kids don't get their phones." And I hang out with these people regularly at our lagoon and in our neighborhood, and none of their kids have mom and dad's phone or devices. They either have their own device, which is locked out of everything, or they have like kid iPads. Like, they're not real iPads, like the little colorful ones, whatever they're called. And that's the solution. So I'm not going to apologize for that opinion. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's how I feel about it. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Come back, watch future videos. Don't get too mad at me. It's just one video. You probably enjoyed all the rest of them if you didn't like this one. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.